Okay, thank you very much, and thanks for the honor and for the opportunity to speak to you. So the question I've been asked to address today is how does one become a transdisciplinary developmental scientist? And my answer to that will, of course, be developmental. And by this I mean that every person, every outcome, is a complex interaction between characteristics of the individual and the environment in which they find themselves. So I'll begin briefly by talking about characteristics of myself, but then I'll move on to what I consider to be much more important, which is the wonderful transdisciplinary environment of Northwestern that has supported me so well in this endeavor. Okay, let's start with the characteristics of the person. Well, perhaps the most important characteristic is to have a short attention span. As my students will tell you, I'm fond of jumping from topic to topic. I know that it can be trying at times, but I think there really are some advantages as well, as this quote from Alfonso Cuarón suggests. I guess I have a short attention span. I'm interested in new worlds, new universes, and new challenges. So put simply, it's easy to be transdisciplinary when you can't focus on one discipline. And the second characteristic of the individual is one must never have the ability to say no to any research opportunity. This has never been my strength, but it was really, this strength or weakness, whatever, was greatly enforced when I was a postdoc at the University of Illinois. I was invited to participate in some research that sounded really interesting. But I'd been reading some ridiculous self-help book that said that if one wants to be successful, one must learn to say no. So I took the advice of that book and I said no. And that work was voted the most important study in developmental psychology in the last 20 years. Here's the publication, the cover page. My name's not there. So I never said no again. And in the end, I think this did help me become transdisciplinary. Third, it helps to have passion and interest about things that will be relevant outside of your own home discipline. For me, that interest has always been about maps and spatial visualization. Maps open the world to us, allow us to see things we never could experience on the basis of direct experience, and they change how we think about the world. They represent not only spatial information, but power, hegemony, whatever you're interested in, maps have been part of that becoming. So I studied for many years how children learn to understand and use maps. This is a child-friendly map of Evanston that we used in one study, where I looked at the consequences of coming to see your neighborhood through this mediated perspective of maps. And we measured it in a variety of ways, including having children take landmarks everybody knew, the Pancake House in Wilmette, for example, Pecky's and the ice cream store were both very popular. And we had them make maps just of the location so we could assess what they knew about the relative relations. And when I use the word maps, I'm not only referring to traditional maps like the one I just showed, but also to other kinds, metaphorically, to other kinds of spatial representations. I love the tree of development of the Indo-European languages because, as my colleague Debbie Gedder would say, it helps you see and to think about relations that otherwise would remain totally opaque. Ironically, this is about language, but it would be incredibly difficult to do in language alone. So there's something special about the spatial representation that I've always been fascinated with, and that I think does relate to many disciplines. In 1998, a critical event happened. The National Science Foundation hosted an event where they invited chemists and cognitive scientists. This was the weirdest thing I'd ever heard of at that time. And I was like, how do they relate? But I went, and it was a tremendous eye-opener for me. I began to realize that my interest in spatial representation and visualization was relevant to STEM and to many other fields, including the humanities. I'm often fond of pointing out that organic chemistry is the greatest source of psychology majors. Many chemistry majors don't make it through organic chemistry and decide that chemistry, and often STEM, all of STEM, is not for them. In fact, several have come to my door, knocked on it, and said, "Hello, Dr. Uttal. I've decided I don't like science, so I want to be a psychologist." Ouch. Now, we somewhat defensively say, we're science too, but I understand, and I'm glad that you're interested in our field. But in all seriousness, I realized that there was a real problem here. Why were so many talented, well-prepared, and seemingly well-motivated students struggling so much? It is notoriously difficult. As I speak, our daughter is taking her organic chemistry final, and she's doing very well. But not for my genes, because I don't. I study space, I don't do. So one potential concern that I realized was spatial visualization. Chemistry and other STEM disciplines are remarkably spatial in nature. In chemistry, organic chemistry in particular, the shape of a molecule really determines a lot about its properties. And chemists have, for over 150 years, known this, and they developed representations of 3 dimensions. I'm sure you can all see these as 3-dimensional figures, right? I certainly can. But you're supposed to imagine lines coming towards you and lines going away from you, and the chemistry professor will say, look, can't you see that? And about 30 to 40% of the students are saying, what? No, I don't see that. I better become a psychology major. So it's not so easy. There's a problem here. And there's a problem we can study and a problem we can fix. So from there, I began to realize that spatial thinking and spatial representations could be critical to other STEM fields, such as geology. I began to realize that the interdisciplinary perspective on spatial thinking was also relevant to children's learning fields like engineering, where I worked with my colleague Kathy Hayden of Loyola to study early engineering experiences in the tinkering lab at Chicago Children's Museum. And of late, I worked with Steve McGee of the Learning Partnership and the Chicago Public Schools to study how using maps and other kinds of representations could help to integrate in a transdisciplinary way what is now called career and technical education and what used to be called vocational education. Now let me turn to the environment where I found myself 25 years ago. Okay. I'm fortunate that my development has been supported by wonderful mentors and colleagues, and by a university that greatly values, as you've already heard, and supports transdisciplinary research. Let's start at the beginning of graduate school with this man. This is Harold Stevenson. By the way, he was also Lindsay Chase Lansdale's advisor. Like me, and I think Lindsay will agree, Harold had a very short attention span. So I came to see that, that wasn't all bad. He had tremendous energy and passion for transcending disciplinary boundaries. It was Stevenson who really helped me to see that the dichotomy between basic and applied research was a false one. I was recruited to Northwestern to join what was already an interdisciplinary effort, the building of the cognitive science program. This was across many schools at Northwestern. This massive interdisciplinary effort was led in psychology by my colleague Debbie Genner, who has become a wonderful mentor for me. She showed me, most importantly, the value and importance of a strong theoretical approach. And she will tell you about, anytime you want, that analogy transcends a lot of human thinking, and that is inherently transdisciplinary. Debbie was also instrumental, along with Ken Forbes, Larry Hedges, Sue Hespos, and several other colleagues, in establishing the Spatial Intelligence and Learning Center, or SILC, which fosters interdisciplinary research and the role of spatial cognition in STEM learning. It's interesting to note that Nancy Anderson, Brad Zachary, and other administrators at the Office of Residential Academic Initiatives also helped considerably by providing opportunities for faculty and students to meet in non-traditional settings, like having lunch. It's here at Shepherd Residential College that I met Brad Satrin of our geology department, and he joined the center and was absolutely critical in us obtaining that funding. And that would not have happened without Shepherd, in my case, and Ayers Residential Colleges. So thank you very much. Administrators at Northwestern helped tremendously by promoting interdisciplinary research. Beginning in the mid-1990s, Provost Larry Dumas, and then Dan Linzer, for whom this fellowship is named, positioned Northwestern to become a national and international leader in transdisciplinary research. It was Dumas who said that Northwestern will be the interdisciplinary university, and he made it so, followed by those who followed in that position. As Provost Holloway pointed out, we're really unique, or maybe it's one of them, in this regard. Interdisciplinary research really is a defining part of our culture. If you say, why should you come to Northwestern? It's because of interdisciplinary research. The DevSci Institute is but one very important example of this culture. Our current provost, Jonathan Holloway, is continuing this tradition by building new institutes and centers and hiring faculty who speak more than the language of one discipline. Both colleges of which I am a member are also committed to transdisciplinary research. Under the leadership of Adrian Randolph, the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences is continually establishing and supporting interdisciplinary programs, including substantial support for this institute, and, since I was on the committee, I can say also developing an interdisciplinary curriculum for undergraduate students. And David Figlio, the Dean of the School of Education and Social Policy, has been instrumental in supporting transdisciplinary research, but in some ways, his job was a little bit easier because CESI was founded to be a transdisciplinary school. We've always been interdisciplinary. We bring together people from at least 8 different disciplines, and yet we all are able to converge around the important topics of education and social policy. And to be a transdisciplinary scientist, one must have a very supportive faculty. And in that regard, I'd like to thank my wife, Linda, who has stuck with me through all the many here, but I think they're all kind of about scientific stuff. Blind alleys, garden paths, red herrings, and whatever metaphor you like, Linda's always been there. Transdisciplinary research is not easy. It doesn't always work out. And Linda has listened to all of my many complaints, concerns, and anxieties about how things aren't going well. And she always knew that it could, and I greatly appreciate your support. I'd like to thank my grad students and postdocs because they do all the work. Really, many of them are here today. And finally, of course, I'd like to thank the Developmental Sciences Institute. I really have found my home here because of the focus on both development and transdisciplinary research. For example, the SEED grant that you heard about is conducted with Ellen Wortella, School of Communications, Rachel Flynn, appropriately the most thanked person today, graduate student Naomi Polinsky in psychology. With the support of the DevSci grant, I've been investigating whether playing iPad apps can improve children's spatial skills. So this is one of the apps we're testing, and we can finally look at the data. Nowadays you have to wait until it's all collected, and it's working, so I'm very thankful for that too. So I'm thankful to the founders of DevSci, Ellen Wortella, Lindsay Chase Lansdale, Lori Warschlag, Sandy Wexman, and not pictured, Sarah Mangelsdorf, about to become the president of the University of Rochester, and Sue Heslos, all of whom collaborated and did the 5 years of work it took to get this institute really rolling to the point that we can have this meeting. Okay. I'm looking forward also to the future, to participating in studies with others. There is always a great need for better assessments, and spatial thinking is really underattended to, and it shouldn't be. Better assessments, better diagnostic tools, and better ways of both preventing problems and enhancing positive development. In summary, becoming a transdisciplinary science is a developmental mission. Make sure you have a short attention span and an ability to say no. Then be lucky enough to find yourself in a place that cherishes and supports transdisciplinary research. So if anybody's interested in collaboration, please give me a call. I won't say no.